I heard his voice, and so whenever I said Jack, Jack, that's whenever he started yelling.
We did it! We did it! You did it, Arkansas. This state did it.
This is THV11 This Morning.
Syria calling the U.S. missile strike on one of its air bases a blatant act of aggression. Russia and Iran condemning the strike as well.
2 U.S. Navy warships in the Mediterranean Sea fired 59 Tomahawk missiles last night in response to the regime's deadly chemical attack on civilians. CBS News reporting 7 soldiers were killed, several more were hurt. While the U.S. has been conducting airstrikes within Syria for years, this was the first directed at the Assad government.
It is in this vital national security interest of the United States to prevent and deter the spread and use of deadly chemical weapons.
At least 24 members of Congress were briefed or notified about the assault. House Minority Leader Nancy Pelosi and other Democrats said the president should have consulted with Congress.
Arkansas Senator Tom Cotton commended the president's decision. In a statement, he added, any country that violates arms control agreements with the U.S., develops illicit chemical or nuclear weapons programs, or supports those countries ought to take note.
I just broke down whenever I found him, and I just couldn't help but cry because we found him.
A 4-year-old boy in Saline County safe this morning, reunited with his family.
Now, the neighbor you just heard from found Jackson, or Jack Jack as she says, hours after he was reported missing. He and his black lab first disappeared last night. Saline County deputies used rescue dogs and a helicopter to help find him.
The neighbor says she found him holding onto a tree along with the dog. The Saline County Sheriff says that's about 500 yards from his home. No word yet on exactly what happened, but the sheriff says Jackson is expected to be okay.
Beautiful morning out there this morning over Little Rock, and if you look in the eastern sky, you'll get a shot of Venus, bright object in the sky there, and just right below that, of course, your morning sunrise. Should have a sunny day today, pleasant conditions, and looks as if you're going to Oaklawn or maybe even to the Tramps tonight. You'll have near perfect weather conditions. Here are the headlines for you, and we'll talk about this weekend forecast real quick. We're looking at a high today of close to 70. Mid-70s tomorrow, upper 70s Sunday. Late day clouds and even a chance of a shower or thunderstorm in northwest Arkansas. Now, this morning we start at 43 degrees. Now it's up to 44 with a northwest wind at 8. Skies are clear. A little scattered frost over in western Arkansas. And elsewhere, we're looking at pretty much in the 40s. So a lightweight jacket for the morning hours turns into sunny, pleasant for the afternoon. And again, there's your weekend outlook with mid-70s. Coming up this morning at 6 o'clock here, we've got Jeff McDaniel, Fit by 50, and a way to burn calories and to keep them burning throughout the day. Rob Evans, you don't need that. Looking good over there, man. Nice and fit. Back over to you guys this morning for a look at your headlines.
Well, today, a 6th death row inmate begs for a second chance at life before the state parole board. Jack Jones granted a clemency hearing earlier this week. He's on death row for the 1995 rape and murder of a bookkeeper and the beating and choking of her daughter, who survived the attack. In 2005, he pleaded guilty to the 1991 murder of a Pennsylvania woman. And the board has only recommended clemency for 1 inmate so far. And a federal judge saying the governor cannot execute that man, Jason McGehee, because of a 30-day mandatory comment period. His execution was set for April the 27th, but the key execution drug, well, it expires 3 days later. McGee's father says he is feeling hopeful for his son.
It's very satisfying to know that somebody is finally waking up and realizing, looking at everything.
The only way McGehee can be executed is if the Attorney General files an appeal and if the 8th Circuit Court overturned the judge's decision. The Attorney General's office released a statement saying Rutledge will respond to any and all challenges.
Judge Neil Gorsuch is one step closer to the Supreme Court as the Senate continues to debate about him. The Senate used the nuclear option to clear the way for him, changing the rules to eliminate a Democratic filibuster after failing to get the 60 votes needed. Democrats subjected the judge to the first partisan filibuster in U.S. history. And in response, GOP lawmakers changed those rules.
We will sadly point to today as a turning point in the history of the Senate and the Supreme Court.
Going quote-unquote nuclear requires only a simple majority that not only shakes up the Senate but could change the future of the highest court. The Senate is expected to confirm Gorsuch later today.
The Little Rock police releasing more details on a deadly shooting involving an officer. Police say the suspect, Austin Snyder, was driving a stolen vehicle in a hotel parking lot on Canis and Shackleford in West Little Rock. They say he drove into a guest vehicle, a patrol car, and then got out. The officer shot at him when Snyder tried reaching for something, and police say they found 2 guns in Snyder's front seat. The officer is on administrative leave.
Starting at 5 o'clock tonight, Park Plaza Mall's new youth escort policy goes into effect. Kids under the age of 18 must be accompanied by a parent or guardian who is at least 21 years old on Friday and Saturday nights. The policy hopes to curb the rising number of unsupervised kids hanging out at the mall on weekends.
We did it! We did it! You did it, Arkansas!
Just before 6:50 last night, you did it. You helped meet Arkansas Gives goal of $5 million for more than 900 nonprofits.
And the final number, $5.6 million in 12 hours. A great way to end Arkansas Gives. That was such a shining moment, and it brought Craig O'Neill, if you were watching, brought him to tears.
Yeah, he's been a huge part of this third and final year. $2 million the first year, $4 million last year, $5.6 million this year. What an awesome event. Unbelievable how giving the people of Central Arkansas and all of Arkansas are.
Great job.
But coming up, a longer workout might not mean you get the full effects of said workout.
Fitness expert Jeff McDaniel explains the afterburn effects just ahead.
Oh, you big show off.
Can we just start just seeing what he's doing in there every day?
I want to see how long it takes for him to pass out.
Yep.
Keep the camera on.
Let's just stay there.
Oh, no, he's coming down. He's coming down. Hi, Jeff. Weather, I'll tell you what, heading through the drive-thru, getting that cup of coffee, this is what you can expect. Mid-40s this morning, northwest wind will back off during the day, and as you pick up that cup of coffee and then head to school, kids will need their lightweight jackets. We're back with your forecast and Jeff McDaniel right after this.
Hey, and we're at Event and Attend in Des Arc. They got me to work this morning. We're talking about making your home farmhouse chic. They've got everything that you need in here. We'll show you some details coming up.